Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Renegade Games Twitch channel for our Season 2 finale of The Nightlife, our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set here in sunny Miami. Although it's probably not very sunny right now, so just Miami. I am your storyteller this evening. My name is Diana D'Amico. I'm going to let the rest of my beautiful cast introduce themselves very quickly before we get started. However, couple of disclaimers right at the top of the show. This is the world of darkness. It gets kind of dark. We as a group have discussed safety tools. We've talked about things that might happen tonight. We've discussed that as a cast behind the scenes here to make sure that everyone is safe and cozy with everything that's happening. We also have some safety measures that are in place to make sure that everyone can enjoy the game while still getting a little bit darker. We encourage you all to do the same for yourselves at your home games. However, for this, if we do happen to hit a nerve with you and you do feel that you need to step away for a few minutes, we encourage you to do that. You won't miss anything super vital. Secondly, I am not infallible. I just wandered into Renegade Game Studios one day and they were like, hey, take this vampire book and go do something. So, I mess up the rules. I'll own up to it. We're going to do our best here tonight. We're going to have fun and tell an engaging story. But don't be surprised if maybe a die roll ends up 1 die or 2 die over or under. I promise you it's not the end of the world. It'll be okay. With that being said, let's meet our wonderful coterie this evening. Let's start with Giselle. Giselle, who are you in your real life and who are you playing tonight?
Hello. In my real life, I am Jen Kretschmer, and tonight I am playing Giselle de la Scala, your friendly neighborhood La Sombra. Friendly neighborhood La Sombra.
What about you, Barry? Who are you, IRL?
Hey everybody, my name is Justice, and you can find me on the socials with my mustache in places, and I'm playing the new to the team, Nosferatu.
He's a bug boy.
He's a baby bug boy.
Baby bug boy. Resident Rose Louviere.
Hi, I'm Gabe Hicks, Gabe James Games across all socials. And I am your lovely Rose today, Louviere Batale, here to steal hearts and then drink from them while they're fresh.
That's romantic? ? Last but certainly not least, our hotel magnate, Carmina.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nora Ibrahim, also known as Norological on the internet. And yes, I do play hotel magnate Carmina Magnus Ventru and Screw Trust Falls, a coterie that slays together, stays together.
Yeah.
Well, then you guys are never getting rid of each other. Wonderful. Without further ado, let's dive right in. So last week, the Glampires, your coterie, put out an actual literal fire at the club, discovering the symbol of the Sabbat etched in ash. A brief examination of the note left for Giselle alerted the coterie to the possible location of Percival hidden inside an office space owned by Lucian. Despite everyone in agreement over this likely being a setup, the group decided they would try to free their Nosferatu friend and set about making plans and contacting allies to do so. Barry contacted his former colleague Trent Droyle by pigeon, hoping to grease the wheels on some of the security systems in place at that particular building. He also contacted City Comptroller Daryl Vagabond, and with a few light threats and a bit of blackmail, ensured that no emergency calls of any kind would be able to leave the building tonight while the coterie enacted their plan. I'm not going to say that was the right choice. It was a creative choice. No emergency calls. All right. Carmina. She left word with a former coworker, someone on the inside of Benedict Consulting, who would be able to get her access to what is most definitely a secured area of the building. She also set up members of her tactical team, 3 of them to be exact, positioned on the roof, outside on the street level, and then lovingly named Terry inside at the party with his beautiful feather collar and lame short shorts.
Yeah, it was a feathered bolero mini jacket and pink lame speedos. Good stuff. Conjures a visual. Yeah. I love that. Wonderful. She also alerted them that there might be an extraction that's necessary. Good. Pragmatic. Planning ahead. Louvier set everything in motion to host a spur-of-the-moment bachelor party in the lobby of this business building to lend a distracting hand to this foolish venture.
Mm-hmm. Foolish is a matter of opinion, storyteller.
The storyteller says, this is a foolish venture. This engagement was announced via group text to about 80 different people. And yeah, Mazel Tov. Congratulations. Can't wait to see how that pans out. You made sure to let Sid know that they would be a guest of honor were they to show up. I'm sure nothing bad will happen there.
I think it'll go all according to plan. Now, is it according to our plan? Maybe not. But according
Someone's
to a
plan.
Exactly.
Someone's plan.
Someone's going to die tonight.
It's also worth noting that this party is sort of like a test run for the What We Do in the Shadows burlesque show, soon to be hosted by the Magnus Hotel. So we'll be testing out all the costuming, all the special effects. All of those pieces will be present at tonight's party.
Can we get a poll installed? Do we have enough time for that?
I mean, they make traveling polls, I'm pretty sure.
Hell yeah.
I gave you a card and I left you in charge of all of that.
Hell yeah. I definitely would have bought 6. All right.
And then Giselle put in a call to the lawyers of the building on the very, very ancient, like, rotary phone in the wall of La Palabra. She cited some concerning code violations for the building in question, lending some more distraction for the events tonight. She also arranged a very special message to be delivered to Lucian from her sister Bernadette, from her local parish. The message simply said, "They're coming for him. Get everyone important out." That's where we're going to pick up. The coterie had gone to rest as the sun rose over Miami. And while everyone was dormant, Barry, you lay awake. And a memory sort of filters through your thoughts, as it has every night, every day, since you were embraced. You remember going to meet Lucian for the last time. In the Miami heat of the day, right around noon, you stopped by to see him at this office. It was the one and only time he'd ever asked you to meet him here, which seemed a bit off. And even then, he met you in the lobby of all places. Walks up to you, shakes your hand like he has 1,000 times before. Barry, I'm very glad you could meet me.
Oh, we're playing. Oh, sorry. I thought. Yeah,
you're in this memory. You're there.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not a horrible monster. Yes. Thank you for bringing me in. I've been looking forward to this day.
I think you'll be pleased. It might take some time, but you'll adjust. And you sort of idly raise your hand to rub your jaw, just a nervous habit you've had for ages. And even now, remembering this, you can still feel the stubble beneath your fingertips. And it's kind of a shame, really, to be reminded of that feeling. Like a phantom pain, you can still feel it, but it'll never happen again. And Lucian turns and gestures for you to follow him to a bank of elevators. Stainless steel, so smooth you can see your reflection as you stand beside him waiting. Barry, you've done a great deal of good work for me over the past few months. I greatly appreciate all the help you've given me in security and surveillance of Miami. You know, there's always someone stepping out of line.
I mean, it's been my pleasure. Ever since I saw the other side, you know, it's kind of been just calling to me. So anything that I can do to help and you know, eventuality get me there.
I think it's time to give you a bit more responsibility. More power, if you will.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
I think it's time you joined the ranks of my elite crew.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Oh, I can't thank you enough. I mean, I mean, we had our past differences, but ever since, you know, I've tried. Thank you. I just hope that I can do you proud.
He puts a hand on your shoulder and sort of guides you into the elevator and leaves it there and looks you in the face. Stares you down. Understand that by accepting this gift, you are in charge of not only my security and surveillance, but all of Miami's. Are you ready for that? That's a lot of responsibility.
Yes, I mean, you give me the resources, I can do it. I promise. I've grown a lot, you know, and I've been looking forward to this, and with the newfound powers and everything that I know that you'll give me access to, I just can't.
I just want you to remember who gave you this gift. Your predecessor chose to use his gifts in unadvantageous ways. He made the wrong sort of friends. Now you, Barry, I don't think that you'll make that same sort of mistake.
Oh, of course not. I know how to everything rolls up. It all rolls up, and I know how to thank people for gifts. You won't regret it.
I'm sure I won't. And it's at that moment that the doors of the elevator slide open from the 14th floor, revealing a very bland-looking office reception room, if I'm being honest.
Okay. I guess it makes sense that we have to do this in private. So how's this work? Is it like the movies or like?
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to spoil a surprise for you. And he'll sort of gesture. And two security officers with batons strapped to their sides and what appears to be Kevlar vests on approach you and flank you at either side.
This isn't necessary.
Oh, I assure you it is. It's a very dangerous process, you see. I wouldn't want you to harm yourself in any instance or moment of panic.
Oh, right. Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
You'll also have to forgive me. I'm a bit nostalgic. Turn around for a moment, and he asks you to turn away from him.
Okay.
You feel a smooth, silky fabric cover your eyes, completely blocking your vision, as Lucian ties it behind your head.
Okay. That's it's a little weird. I don't really like not being able to see. That's
He
kind of
puts
my
his
whole.
hands on your shoulders and turns you back to face him. And even though you can't see him, you know that he's sort of like smiling at you.
Oh.
Very proud of you, Barry.
Thank you.
Welcome. And before you get in a response that maybe conveys the uneasiness you feel, Lucian's hands are replaced by, you assume, the hands of the two guards that he called over. And they begin to lead you away, deeper into the office building.
Wait. Can we just do this here? I don't like being blindfolded.
And it's with that thought that you do find rest for the day. Knowing you could have avoided this whole thing. You didn't have to get in those elevators. You could have said no blindfold. You could have asked what was going to happen to you. That's what sits heavy on your mind. Going into an evening of what you know will be perceived as ultimate betrayal. After all, Lucian may not be your sire, but he is the one who made you. And as the sun begins to set over Miami, painting the sky a beautiful series of purples and blues and deep dark reds, you all awaken. How do you feel going into this? Giselle?
The word that comes to mind is itchy. Like she's ready to go.
To get it over with.
To get her hands dirty if necessary, but she wants this done.
Okay.
Yeah, this has been an issue for far too long.
Louvier.
Giddy. He's excited to see how people crash and burn because he wants to use the fire as perfect lighting for his spotlight.
Excellent. Carmina.
What is Carmina, if not ever overly confident? To possibly her detriment. We'll see.
Lastly, Barry.
Barry may not have been around for as long as these other ones, and he may not have as many scabs to pick with Lucian and the powers that be in Miami, but he has one giant oozing sore to pick with Lucian, and it's his entire skin.
Excellent. You all had made your contacts the morning of this day. Some of them, your mortal contacts, did get back to you in some way, shape, or form. Giselle, you actually received a sort of an automated callback thing that no one picked up, of course, because it went to that old rotary phone. However, whoever at that lawyer's office had received your claim decided that they would just send the message to the Magnus Hotel because it was right next door. So ever faithful Trevor, the front desk manager now, he got a promotion, leaves a note on the bar that simply says, they'll be looking into it immediately.
That's the mayor's office, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Because you had contacted Jonathan about it and you'd contacted the lawyers in the building, correct?
The lawyers, yes, but the lawyers in the building I did via Sister Bernadette. It was all, I made sure that it wasn't, I didn't want these to be directly traceable back to us.
Great.
So
perfect.
if I needed to use intermediaries, I would, except for Sister Bernadette was a call I made myself, but I disguised my voice. So.
Okay. Wonderful. So then in that case, it's a handwritten note from Jonathan because he knows you don't pick up the phone and he doesn't know Trevor from Adam, but he likes you. So he left a handwritten note on the bar that said, we'll look into it immediately. Drinks ? Trevor. Wonderful. Louvier, you arise to find a slew of messages in this terrible, awful group chat of lust that you've created, honestly. And as you sort of scroll through, the responses vary from very supportive and like congratulations to, oh my God, I can't wait for this party, to who are you? There's a wide berth there.
Remember those ones.
I mean, if you say Louvi, I'm sure they'll remember. Can't forget. And then of course, Carmina, you awoke to find confirmation from your various contacts that yes, the tactical crew would be informed and prepared for any needs that might arise. You got confirmation on exactly who was going to be on the roof, who was going to be on the street, and that Terry was going to be at the party. You also got a notification from, was it an Amex Black card that you gave to Louvier, or was it Capital One, Visa, Discover?
It was the Amex Black card.
Great. Yeah, they called you this morning, asking about suspicious activity on your card. Something about a party bus or a party RV. It was very hard to hear on the phone. What else would you have ordered, Louvier? What features
oh no,
are you planning on bringing into this party?
Okay, so there's clowns, strippers, and then clown strippers. None of them know about each other, so that's going to be a fun surprise.
Surprise!
My literal only rule was no jets. Like, do not charter any jets.
Yep. Multiple buses. I offered I hired pole dancing teachers as well as like offered a bunch of like
pole dancing instructors, right?
Yes,
not teachers.
I was very confused for half a second there.
I mean, look, it's a great workout, so hey.
And then
fair.
A couple amateurs as well to like come practice before a live crowd. I offered a couple comedians a chance to do like stand up in between. I hired two
stand up and strippers, the classic combination.
Yeah,
I love that game.
Stand up, strip down.
I also hired two like definitely competing like bartending schools to come host at the party so that they'll have to share one space next to each other to see who's going to do it the best. And then kind of I just did one of those, there's like, they have those like, ordered a whole bundled party thing. Like they'll have those like websites, like an entire bachelor party in a box. And it's just like a whole bunch of features. I ordered one from like 3 different websites and I don't even know what they offered, but they offered to show up at a specific date at a specific time.
Okay, wonderful.
I made sure to put
what are all of these penis decorations, Louvier?
Edible. That's what. Look, lollipops, gummy bears, ice pops. The ice pops have apparently vodka. Humans love this shit.
This one appears to be a unicorn horn headband.
Bastian sort of leans over the counter. He goes, those are non-perishable. They'll be great when it storms here. Just don't question.
Do you want one?
I haven't decided if I'm coming tonight or not.
Well, that's more to me, isn't it? Anyways. Yeah, he just orders everything.
Carmina, you get like 5 or 6 voicemails from Amex about these very strange purchases. The last one is an actual person who recorded a message from like the claims department, and they're literally like, Miss Magnus, we're just calling to make sure that you're okay. It seems like something's going on, and we want to make sure that, you know, you're a valued, loyal customer, and we want to make sure that we're treating you as well as we possibly can. So please give me a call back at 555-5432 extension 1.
Immediately just hit like call back.
This is Sabrina. How can I help you?
Hi, Sabrina. I just got a voicemail about some certain recent charges that have been put on my card that have
Miss Magnus?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Hello. I don't know that we've met before, but I'm your personal banker here at Amex, and I just wanted to make sure that, you know, we were taking care of you and that you were getting everything that you needed, and that you were okay and not being held hostage or at gunpoint or anything. I mean, these are very strange charges.
Yeah, they are. Here's the situation, though. I'm actually going to be putting on a burlesque show. It is What We Do in the Shadows, the burlesque show. It's going to be at my hotel. And so as I have the cast and the costume designer and everything being settled, set design, you know, all of that, I did also want to throw a little pre-production cast party, but all of that, I can assure you, is production and set design and cast party, so forth. You know how these things go. You have to take care of your talent, right? Yeah. So, any other questions?
No, I don't think so. We did get a very strange request from one of the vendors putting through the charge, though.
What was it?
Well, there were apparently live animals that were supposed to be shipped as part of this one bundle, and I don't know that that's going to be possible or legal. So they called to see if we could just leave the opossums out and do a partial refund. I don't know if that's something that you needed for your party or...
Possums. Great. You know what? That's okay. No animals necessary. That's fine. It's all good. We'll figure it out. Great. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Play the guitars.
It's fine.
Wonderful. Well, you have a spectacular day, Miss Magnus. I look forward to speaking with you soon.
May I just add, after 24 hours, please put a hold on all purchases. Please just put a hold on.
Are you sure that you're in a safe place?
Yes.
The code word is Spectrum. If you just say that if you need me to send the police or something, because
I can assure you that is not necessary. But thank you so much for your concern and for asking. No, that's fine. No animals necessary. And yeah, please just freeze freeze that account for after 24 hours, please.
All right, Miss Magnus, I'll take care of that.
Thank you. Bye.
Wonderful. Now, important point of order, just for me. Louvier, did you hire a party planner, or are you just having all of this sent to the hotel where you are going to show up?
So
you're sending it to the hotel?
I'm not the hotel, the office building.
Okay.
My bad. Sorry.
Oh,
I found someone named Sharon on Fiverr.
All right.
And I gave her all the deets. I didn't give her the card. That's mine. Carmina would kill me. But I did give her I basically was like, hi, Sharon. Ew. Blah, 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 forwarding you all the emails. Here's the thing. This is for my day. If it's not great, at least your family. JK. Unless. Backspace. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Send.
You know, If I ever had a personal assistant, I would want them to be exactly like Livier.
I'd be a problem.
I know. Other than party prep, what else would you all like to do to prepare for this evening? You don't have long, so you can't like do a mani-pedi facial kind of thing. But if there are things you want to grab, take with you, tactical gear you want to don, now is the time. Giselle, let's start with you.
What sort of arsenal do we have access to at between La Palabra and the Magnus Hotel?
Nora, what does the Magnus Hotel have on hand?
As far as transportation?
Weapons.
Weapons. Okay. Well, you've seen only one time that in my penthouse suite, my personal one, there is like a little trap door that kind of, and there's my whole arsenal back there. That would be for personal use. This situation would warrant as that. There is a general for my staff as well. So my staff is always, especially like my extraction teams are always armed. But if Giselle needed anything, there would be, to the extent of, unless there was something crazy that's a certain person with my card would have to purchase separately for a specific customization, you'd probably find something suitable for what you need.
Most legal weapons, we'll put it that way. I mean, there's not going to be a sawed-off shotgun in there. You're not getting a flamethrower or grenade launcher.
Oh, man, really?
But like rock salt, I'll allow if you really want to have it on hand. A taser that maybe has a slightly higher voltage than is truly acceptable in a court of law. So Giselle, you tell me, what would you like to have?
What's going to hurt?
With you wielding it, I bet just about anything. I would say Giselle probably has most experience with like smaller handgun style things.
That's what I'm thinking is probably a couple of blades that I can strap to various parts of my body, and then a few things that go boom.
Okay.
So I think that like whatever's closest to like a little beefier than a little dainty lady's handgun from the 40s, but sort of in that style, perhaps. Okay. And then a couple of different blades. I'd also love to have a snack if I can, thanks to the hotel. And finally, I kind of want to go find a quiet place by myself, and almost out of instinct and habit, I think Giselle reaches down and pulls out her rosary that she wears around her, kind of looped onto her belt, and says some prayers. It's not something she again, it's almost out of superstition and instinct still. And there is a lot of self-loathing that goes along with actually doing that. But,
I was going to say, I imagine there's probably a little venom in your tone.
Yeah, if nothing else, it's almost to sort of pump herself up for it. Like use that anger to
get into the I'm going to kill God mode.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. Wonderful. Barry. How are you prepping?
This isn't really my strong suit. I don't really go for the aggression side of things. But I feel the need to maybe burn things down. So Barry's going to get pre-mentioned taser. Figure that could be a last-ditch effort. And then some sort of highly flammable liquid that he could keep in a bottle. And some matches.
Gabe's face.
Just in case.
Okay. Boy, these vampires do not hate fire, apparently. Who knew? Yes, Gabe.
Can I hire a hitman to try to like shoot me in the shoulder at my own bachelor party?
Why?
All right.
You do know this is not a real
I
bachelor
want to talk about
party.
why. Okay, we're going to talk about the why here. The no is because you can't hire a hitman using an Amex card. That's not a thing that they're going to allow to go through. The dark web and black market.
That's going to flag.
Yeah, Venmo doesn't really work for that one either. So
actually, I'm sure Venmo probably does.
I as an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
You could hire like a stunt actor and some special effects shit.
All right, fine. I accept that. It'll still work for what I want to happen, but yeah, that works.
Okay.
John.
Also, anyone who knows you, anyone who knows you knows if you get shot, it means fucking nothing. So.
Yeah, but I have to see who cares.
Oh my God. Welcome to Fantasy Island Kindred Edition.
I promise you that Gabe does have ulterior motives for all of this, but
boy, I hope not. I'm digging it. Wonderful. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Barry. Did we cut you off? Was there anything else you wanted to do to prepare? All right.
Oh.
Gabe, we've already established
specifics in chat of what I'm taking.
Gabe, we've already established that you're now hiring a stunt man and some special effects stuff. You've already got all your party favors planned out. Anything else you want to do to prepare for this evening?
Don't kill me. Never mind.
Okay. Carmina.
Carmina would have, let's see here, definitely a couple of pistols and some ammo. I want a few like flashbang smoke bombs for any sort of GTFO situation.
Okay.
Some sort of protective gear, that's probably doesn't exist IRL, but you see it in spy movies where like it still looks super sleek.
Like a Kevlar corset top kind of thing?
Yeah, you could still do backflips in it for some reason. I can't question for the storyteller here.
Yeah.
Can I have a harpoon gun, please? It doesn't have to be silver tipped or anything, just a regular harpoon gun.
If you can give me a justification as to why Carmina would have gone in like, ooh, I want a harpoon gun.
Because it's Florida. I've been on boats at night. I go fishing. I have a harpoon gun.
Roll me charisma and persuasion.
You got it.
This is for me. You're trying to convince and persuade me.
This is a big dice pool for me. I'm just going to let you know that right now. Six successes, including a critical.
So y'all got all these weapons, and watch. Louvier is going to come out on top.
With your shot shoulder and your gummy penises. You're just gonna...
Louvier just comes out wielding two giant gummy penises.
Yep, that's the weakness of the Camarilla.
You did not need 50 pounds of it, I text to Louvier.
Hey. You block bullets the way you do. I'll block bullets the way I do.
Okay. All right. Carmina, I'm going to compromise with you here.
Okay.
You have a harpoon gun.
Uh-huh.
But it's not like one of the full-size ones. It's like a cute miniature harpoon gun.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
All right.
As long as it's like projectile speary type thing.
Yeah. You wanted to get one that would fit inside of your purse. That was the main.
Sure. Like strap, Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Yeah. Because you have Florida. A harpoon gun. I don't know why you say that. Like everyone in Florida has a harpoon gun. I'd be willing to bet that it's like maybe 5 to 10% of people at most.
I'm willing. That percentage is higher.
All right. Well, we'll go to the internet later for
that's
this.
because the sawed-off shotguns are much more common.
Anything else you want to do? Prepare.
I've other than just alerting my team and having proper footwear this time, like I'm not running in Louboutins. I'm properly dressed for this situation. Yeah.
All right.
And I charge my phone.
Charge phone. And with the sun just dipping beneath the horizon, you all are prepared and gathered at the front of La Palabra to make your way downtown to this office building. Louvier, all of your party supplies, everything supposedly got delivered this afternoon, but you haven't heard from Sharon since you started getting receipt notifications. Carmina, I take it you probably call a car to take everybody?
Yes. However, we need to maybe like do like a once over. We need to know, we can't just walk in there. We have to discuss as we're in the car what our strategy is for entrance, at what times, what locations, spaced apart, et cetera, et cetera.
As the car pulls away from the curb, you have ample opportunity to do so.
Are all four of us in this car? Like, is Luby out?
That's up to you.
I think that's yeah.
Get in. I would happily go.
Okay, I didn't know if you were already at the location, like putting up streamers or whatever.
No, that's
okay.
like planning. Gross.
No, Sharon was supposed to do that, but Sharon's not answering.
Right. Okay, so we're all, when I said anything but a jet, I wasn't expecting a call from my company to be like are literally asking me if I'm held hostage somewhere.
Oh, was it because of all the rope?
I mean, among a whole laundry list of other things, but rope is probably like the least expensive of what you spent. So I'm guessing no.
Oh my God, just you wait until you see the possums that play guitars.
This isn't your real bachelor party, right?
Yeah, but I don't expect to ever get married, so I figured I'd have a moment while I have.
Are you doing the thing where you're marrying yourself, like as a statement, or are you like?
No, I invited Sid to see what would happen to see if they actually care about me or not.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of putting one of my exes, who's not really an ex, on peer pressure because that works in soap operas. So
why not in real life, especially Miami,
Yeah.
I hope it works out for you.
Also,
honestly.
I figure like either way, this is a celebration of undeath, or if this is our last day when this all goes wrong, at least I went out during a party.
Nobody's going out. I mean, not that way. We already ate a dude before, like diablerized him completely. Like, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
We can do this.
Barry, that's news to you.
Thought that was something you weren't supposed to do.
Oh, no, you're not.
You're not.
You're not.
Oh.
But nobody seemed to mind.
Well, no, they all mind. They all mind. I think that they now think that we're rabid animals, and they believe that if they can have us heal, then we're useful. Or we try to eat each other. But we're not trying to eat each other. We're trying to eat them. So now we have to get rid of all of them, or we become the problem. Either eat and evolve, or I don't know, what's that thing that
I'm not following here.
I don't know.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Like dirt or something. I don't know. Vegan was telling me something and I just wasn't really listening. Either way, maybe it'll be fine. I don't know. But
of course it'll be fine.
I don't have high hopes here.
Who are you talking about eating now?
I'm not saying it comes to that, but it might come to that.
Look, it's only taboo if other people don't like it and they have something to say about it.
The goal is to get this Percival out, right?
Yeah.
And he's supposed to have some knowledge that can help us take down the Primogen.
Mm-hmm.
So
somebody's on track.
Hunted.
I'm so happy.
I just don't think we're going to do it without having to. There's no way that Percival is unguarded by himself.
Look,
we didn't consider that. What? Oh, are we ready to kill?
There were markings on the map we have of locations of people or something.
Yeah. We will have to kill someone or something to get Percival out.
Are you sure you'll be able to step away from your party for a while?
Oh, absolutely. None of them like me. They're there for a party. That's easy.
Look, how do we think this party is going to affect security?
Oh, security will have one hell of a time. Those people will be insatiable, and they are hired to be there, and the cops ain't coming. So security has to deal with them themselves now. That's great.
And you think they'll start a fight themselves, or do they need help?
Oh, there is no way 38-year-old Gerard is going to go up against 51-year-old Tiffany, who heard there was free Jell-O penises. There's no victory.
I'm confused by that analogy. Who comes out on top?
No one, and that's why we have plenty of time.
A distraction's a distraction, and believe me, from what I got on that list of your expenses, it will be a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's about this time. Carmina, you would know because you'd been there before. Barry, you too. The car sort of passes by the front of this office building. And it's fairly modern. It's been modernized. So it's one of those buildings where the entire street facing side is just glass and you can see into the lobby where there is bedlam happening. You can see the security guards like emphatically arguing with a woman in a tutu with like a Chiquita Banana Girl hat on. There's like there are three like mover type men with stripper poles on flatbed hand carts that they're moving into the building. The bartenders are setting up, but they're bickering at each other. Like you can see all of this through the front window. And that's like the first 5 feet into this building.
I have done too much.
It is overkill, but it is what we need right now.
You know what? I'm not even going to stop at the party. We can just go right past that.
You know, I was worried about how we're going to get in, but I think we just walk right through.
Oh, yeah.
Don't think that I want to walk through that crowd.
Did I get the key card that I requested from Conrad Ellis?
It was funny. You sent a message to Conrad. If you look at your phone now, it still says unread.
Well, that was my point of entry.
I think I might have us a back door.
Barry, as long as your pigeon gave your message to Trent, you're confident that you have a way to the 14th floor.
Well, great. Maybe we should walk right in then.
Did it?
You don't know. It's a pigeon.
I can talk to pigeons.
It didn't come back. It's not very smart. And it hit that window really hard.
Well, let's try it. Worst case, the door's locked and we go through the front door.
And if we have to break glass doors, I mean, it's not like we're causing any more of a ruckus than whatever is going on downstairs.
No alarms will go off, that's for sure.
Barry, what is your intention here?
Is there a back door to this place? Employee entrance or something like that?
There's not a back door, but there is an entrance like in the alley beside the building that you could potentially try.
And is there a security camera monitoring that entrance?
Yes.
Then I would like to just walk up to it and look up into the security camera.
Well, first let's talk about this. Because the sun is still setting. It's not completely dark outside yet. You don't have the full cover of night right now. It's in that weird twilight time period. And where Carmina and Louvier and Giselle can confidently get out of that vehicle, you don't have that luxury.
Because people would see me?
Yes.
Well.
All right. What if one of us goes in, snatches some fabric, something glittery, we wrap it around you and shove you right in there, buddy?
Didn't we decide part of the reason we were making this a costumed event was that so everyone would assume that these were special effects in play?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to activate Cloak of Shadows and disappear.
Okay. You all see as Barry kind of sheepishly melts into the darkness.
Or that's effective.
There's no need for costumes.
You won't be able to move, though.
Yes, I will.
Well, I'm convinced.
Giselle, you know that there are certain powers that are compatible with Cloak of Shadows that allow that ability to be extended and utilized in more varied situations. The four of you have a free line in the front door or the side door. It's your choice which one you enter.
Is there anyone over on the side door? Is there anyone else there, or is it just us?
Not that you can see. I mean, it's an alley. It's kind of gross and dirty.
Could you like sense the unseen? See if there's any lurkers. Any witnesses?
Are you using Sense the Unseen? I'm sorry.
I said, can we?
Oh. I mean, yeah, if someone has it, wants to use it.
I do.
Do the thing. Make your roll.
All right. So it's Auspex and where I roll with that. This is a new one.
I feel like it's awareness. Maybe.
Is it awareness?
I'm double checking right now. Sense the Unseen is Wits and Auspex or Resolve and Auspex. Wits and Auspex.
Okay, let's do Wits and Auspex. 2 successes.
As far as you can tell, no one's here.
Seems quiet.
Relative term.
Who goes in first?
I'll go in.
Luvi, you pull open this side door. And even from this side entrance, sort of echoing through the little hallway that you're out of in the alcove there, you can hear everything that's going on in the lobby. And it sounds spectacular. You hear music of different types sort of mingling together. That string quartet and the DJ found a way to make it work. You were concerned at first, but they figured it out. You hear the throngs of people who've already showed up to enjoy this complete blowout that you've thrown. You hear the sounds of joy. And the rest of you can obviously hear this too.
Well, I suppose it is party time. And they'll just kind of like look back and then just gesture with a Harlequin grin of just walking through.
Carmina and Barry, the two of you would know that the bank of elevators that you need to get to is through the lobby, perhaps maybe 50 feet. You have to come out of this alcove, step into the lobby, walk about 50 paces down, and then the bank of elevators is going to be on your left there. So you will have a brief period of time where you have to be in that space, but you could probably be stealthy about it. You could be quick. Carmina, you could see what you're spending your money on.
Let me see. I don't know that I would have anything activated, but I would want to stealth my way.
Okay. It sounds like that's the method of operation then.
Yeah. I think so.
Louvier, you're being stealthy about it?
Yeah, like stealthy walking through a crowd, blending and passing through the crowd, basically.
Okay. Remind me, is fame one of the things on your sheet? Just for me.
Yes.
Just is it on there? How many dots do you have in fame?
3.
Okay.
Barry, now.
Barry, are you invisible right now?
Yes. But before going all the way in, I would like to take a few pictures of this madness happening.
Okay. Are you just using like your cell phone? It takes a few tries. There's some weird stuff happening with your phone because Giselle is right beside you right now. But you are able to snap some maybe a little blurry photos of everything that's happening. Giselle, what is your approach to getting to the bank of elevators?
I will stick as much as I can to the shadows.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm fitting in nicely with the theme of the evening a bit.
Wonderful. All right. Barry, you do not need to roll. The rest of you, go ahead and roll me stealth and dexterity. Louvier, you're going to have a 4 dice penalty.
Ooh.
4? What'd you get, Luvi?
I have 1 stealth and 2 dexterity.
Okay, great, wonderful.
Can't roll.
Love this game so much. All right. The 4 of you round the corner out into the lobby to make your way towards that bank of elevators. And what you see taking place there is beyond the scope of what you even thought Louvier was capable of. In addition to all of the dancers and all the other entertainment, all the musicians, all the guests, everything else, he's even gone so far as to hire one of those like educational petting zoo things that used to come to like elementary schools and middle schools. And you can hear the guy who's got like a boa constrictor wrapped around his shoulders, and he's got like an owl on his arm at the same time. He's like, yeah, we had to leave the possums. They weren't feeling real well, so we couldn't bring them with us. But Carmina, you have a fleeting moment where looking at this sort of menagerie of entertainment, you're like, maybe we should do this show for real, because this seems like a draw.
I mean, it looks like I hired the costume designer already. So
yeah,
looks like this is happening.
And to his credit, Terry is a vision right now.
I did ask him to be a distraction, and he's delivering.
He understood the assignment. You know that the feathered bolero that he's wearing is something that he hand-stitched himself. It's encrusted with Swarovski crystals. It weighs like 30 pounds by itself. Like it is an impressive piece. And you can see him sort of like almost doing a catwalk sort of thing through the crowd.
You got to put that bass in that walk.
Exactly. But you notice he's doing a full scan, ever observant with every turn. And you make a mental note that maybe he deserves like a raise for the next couple jobs or whatever.
I'll consider it. Yeah.
You make it perhaps 15 feet towards the elevators, when across the room,
no,
loud, oh my God, Louvi baby, Felipe comes running across the floor towards you.
Hi, it's so good to see you. Have you?
We didn't think you'd show.
I always show to a party.
But this one's like for you.
Yeah. So what better reason to give people a reason to praise me? How could I miss out on that?
Well, we're all a little confused because you said you were getting married and like, why? Like you were just texting me like 2 days ago. Did I do something wrong or like?
Here's the thing. You get married to someone who signs everything over to you. And then after the deed has been signed, some people just, you know.
And he kind of glances at the rest of you. Oh, is this her? Hi. I'm so glad to meet you. And he holds his hand out to you, Giselle.
I think as soon as I had heard him, I would have stepped into the shadows and hidden myself.
Then Carmina, you're the only one there. So excited about your impending nuptials. You're taking away a good one here.
Oh, we're not. No, we're not. We're not. We're just not.
Oh, so you didn't pay for like the whole party? Because it's really great.
Oh, I paid for the party. But like, we're not getting married.
You're like his sugar mama.
No, I'm not involved in the wedding, in the people getting married here. I am just.
Well, where are they then, Louvi? Because like, you could do a lot worse. She's very fashionable. You're so stylish.
I know.
She is. It's annoying, actually.
You can practically hear Giselle's eyes rolling in the shadows.
You know what? It should be around here somewhere. Have you seen anyone named Sid? I have to go find. I'm gonna go find them. See if we can go find them, Carmina. Let's go.
Okay, bye.
Let's go.
It's
And I'm
so lovely meeting you.
You could have pretended. I'm a catch, Carmina. Thank you.
Oh, I know. But let's just focus on what we're here to do. Because I don't need all of your friends hounding me while we're trying to, accomplish a mission here. The mission isn't the party. You realize that, right? I feel like you don't, though. I feel like you think the party was the mission. The party is not the mission.
We're here to help Percival.
Yes. Try to get the fuck upstairs.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
While they're dealing with Felipe, in an attempt to sow a little more discord on this evening, Barry is going to use his knowledge of computers and whatnot to blast on every social media within a geographic mile of this location that there's a major block party going down, and send pictures of the event through Facebook, targeted Facebook ads, Twitter ads, Instagram ads, as well as every news outlet.
I mean, that would be great if you hadn't blocked everything coming out of this building tonight.
No, emergency calls only.
Just emergency calls? Just 911 calls?
That's all I specified.
Clarity right now, because that's going to fuck some shit. Okay. All right, cool. Great.
That's all I specified. All the mortals.
You go through and fiddle around with the terrible Facebook advertising software and everything else, and you do an Instagram reel, and you go ahead and put this up. Now, the question is, how are you literally just putting this out there from you? Are you putting this out there from who?
I'm going to hack as many influencer in Miami's accounts as I can do on the fly here and get everybody talking about this giant block party that's going on right here.
Okay.
Why is my Instagram hacked?
Yeah, you get everything. You get Carmina, you hack into Reina's socials, which, usually it's all about tarot readings and things, so it's very different. You hack into there's a famous party planner around the city. Her name is Core. You hack into her stuff and post a bunch of pictures, which then it's very fitting, and those seem to immediately get a lot of activity. But it does appear that your message is getting out there. Giselle, yes.
Okay. So as soon as Luvi and Carmina start to walk away while Felipe's there, I'm going to reach out from the shadows and grab his shoulder and pull him towards me.
Do you do anything to silence him?
Yes, I'll slap my hand over his mouth.
Great. Perfect.
And I'm going to take his hand and I'm going to put my hand on his pinky and I'm going to say, shh.
Oh my God. What?
You did not just see them walk by. Do you understand? If anyone asks, none of us were here. We don't need the chaos that their presence would cause until their big reveal. Do you understand me?
Oh, so it's like a surprise party.
Something like that.
Okay, yeah. I can totally keep a secret. I'm Felipe, by the way. I'm like going to be the best man or something.
Are you
don't sound
certain?
like it. Are you the bride to be?
If
Because
I
you
were,
really look like his type. You're kind of mean too, so I know he likes that.
and I put more pressure on the finger.
Okay, all right. I'm
Are
sorry.
we clear?
Yes.
Trust me, you don't want to make me an enemy. And so I am going to, just to make sure I'm driving this point home, I don't want to do massive damage. Like, I feel like it's like right on the edge of where it's. It could be fun, or it could be really not fun. And I'm going to go ahead and use lethal body for this. So it does aggravate damage if I want it to.
Okay.
Just, I need this point to be very clear. You know his type, which means you know his type. We're clear?
I don't really know what you're talking about.
And I move on to the next finger.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the correct answer.
Why wasn't it right the first time?
I just had to make sure. Have fun at the party.
Oh my God.
And I walk away.
Felipe sprints towards the drink table, presumably to get himself some ice. Barry, was there anything else you wanted to do there? I'm sorry, I feel like we cut you off. Okay,
No,
you did your social
just-
media post.
Yeah, getting a block party so that streets in and streets out are going to be very difficult to navigate.
Wonderful. So, the four of you make it to the bank of elevators. One of you presses the button, and as you sort of stand there just waiting, Carmina, your eyes drift to the company directory that's posted there. And looking at the little plastic letters that have been stuck on one of those felt boards, you can see the faint outline of Magnus and before Benedict Consulting that used to be there.
That just pains what's left of my heart. That asshole.
A set of elevator doors slides open. The four of you step inside unnoticed. And I'm guessing you stand there in sort of a tense silence as the elevator rises to the 14th floor. This is one of those weird old buildings that was superstitious, so they just skipped 13, but everybody knows that the 14th floor is the 13th floor.
While we are riding up that, making our way, I do want to text my team for updates.
Okay. You get something from Paul on the roof immediately. It just says all clear. Scott out on the corner gives you a thumbs up emoji. You don't get anything from Terry, but Terry might be busy.
Terry is doing what Terry should be doing.
Yeah. And it would appear that all is well. And with that last ding, the elevator doors slide open, revealing sort of a cold and clinical looking reception area.
Is this the bottom of the map we have?
Yes. Before you is sort of a chest height, one of those tall reception desks. It looks like it's made of maybe black marble or something. You can see behind it the very top of a woman's hairdo as she must be sitting there typing away at the computer. behind her, there's a wall of frosted glass with 2 doors that look like they would swing open. Without raising her head, the woman behind the desk just says, "Welcome to Benedict Consulting. I'm so sorry. Right now we're closed for an emergency inspection. It looks like there were some problems." And she just continues to type away, doesn't look at you all while she says this.
I'm going to use... Do I want to use Mesmerize or the Forgetful Mind? I want to tell her, or I want to like command her basically to go home. And when she gets home, she's not going to remember seeing us. Like she got a message to pack it up. And she just did and turned in for the night.
Okay. I think that's probably Mesmerize. Because that's a pretty complex command.
Yeah.
I can take that over with Submerge Directive if you need me to.
I leave it up to you. How would you like to handle it?
I'm just going to see if it works.
Okay. Make me your manipulation and dominate roll.
Okay. This is a big dice pool. That is 8 dice.
Nice.
Oops. I have successes.
Wonderful. Do you approach the desk as you issue this command?
Yeah. Is she like already getting up and getting out, or like is this just her still at the desk?
You step up to the desk and you say, "Get your things and go home. Forget you ever saw us." And the woman stops typing and stands up, rounds the desk, and goes through the frosted glass door that's further into the building. Maybe she's gone to grab her purse or something.
Okay. If the computer's still there installing, yeah, I do want to see what she's working on.
If you take a look at the computer, it looks to be a series of financial transaction reports that she was going through, flagging for some strange data, maybe. Roll me intelligence and finance.
Okay.
And all of you could make this roll, should you so choose to investigate what was on the computer.
Ooh, that's a critical 1, 2, 3. 6 successes.
God. It was 2 for me.
Got 3. Maybe I pick something up off of the printer rather than go over and glitch out
and fry
laptop.
the hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
File cabinets.
Giselle, you actually see a profit and loss spreadsheet that she had laid out sort of beside the computer on her desk area, and that's what you're looking at. Carmina, looking at these documents, it appears as though Benedict Consulting has received some very, very large deposits coming from New York, from Houston, from Shanghai, from London. But looking at this, there's no invoice number attached to them. There's no file number, no case number. It looks as though Benedict Consulting just got the money for nothing.
So what is it? Just a location or amount? Like what is there?
It's a city of origin. It shows like wire transfer. So it shows the city of origin, the bank it came from, which means nothing to you really.
Yeah.
And then these large sums of money, tens of thousands of dollars with no invoice or actual service attached to that file.
Well, this looks legal. I like say to everybody.
Legal as in like not illegal, or legal as in it's legalese?
No, legal as in something definitely sus is going on with all of these wire transfers of like vast amounts of money with like no paper trail of who is sending them. That kind of sus, that kind of illegal, the like literal definition of illegal.
Should we be surprised in any way about this?
I'm not. But I'm so curious as to know what all of this is for.
I'm going to note the bank names as much as I can.
Okay.
Try and remember those and the cities of origin.
With my phone.
It seems like the mayor's office might have some interest in that.
Yeah.
Looks like Luvy's taken some pictures, so you'll be able to reference them.
Fair enough.
I'm going to take pictures of the documents and then I'll just pass them so you have them.
You all are left alone in the reception room here. What do you do?
Can we see anything through the frosted glass?
You don't see any kind of movement. It's like frosted glass. You can see sort of outlines and shapes of maybe a chair or an office plant or a doorway, but you don't see any movement happening.
I would like to use sorry, my thing's loading slowly. Shadow perspective and take a peek what's behind that glass. Looking to like move my perspective into one of the shadows from on the other side of the glass to see what's going on there.
From that vantage point, you see an empty office building. You can see there's sort of a bullpen area off to your right that has a bunch of cubicles set up. About half the fluorescent overhead lights are off right now because it's nighttime. People are at home, There's a break room that's also off to the right that you hear some faint voices coming from, but you can't see anything. Before you is a long mahogany meeting table surrounded by leather swivel chairs. And on one of the far walls, you see a large steel-framed door, a keypad beside it.
Based on our map, is that where the X's are?
Yes.
Okay. And are there people there?
You can't see from your vantage point, but you hear voices.
Can I push over to a different shadow?
Yeah. We'll say you kind of push over towards where that steel door is.
Mm-hmm.
You can see directly into the break room where there are 3 security guards sitting at a table. Each one has like a coffee cup sitting in front of them. They look fairly casual, just talking right now.
And in terms of the keypads and the steel door, is there anyone in front of that?
Nope. That's where you can see from right now. That's where you are. Barry, it's at this moment your phone buzzes in your pocket. It's from Trent. It just says 72431.
It looks like I've got the access code after all.
All right.
pays to have friends in low places sometimes.
Very.
Giselle, I'm assuming you've been relaying back to the others what you've seen and heard.
Yes, absolutely.
Can we get on with this? The longer we're here, the more likely we are to get caught.
May I mean, are we ready? Because we could kick this off right now from here.
I think so.
I'm going to go ahead and use Stygian's Shroud over the break room. I'm going to use that shadow to suffocate the people in it.
Excellent. I would like for you to describe to me what this looks like.
And I'm good on that. The shadows begin to stretch, as if there was a light that was sort of lifting up and changing the angle on it as they expand, almost like a spotlight on a stage, and the way that shadows multiply and spread. And they begin to take on almost another dimension. They're almost three-dimensional as they spread like a fog, like a thick, like a London fog, wrapping around the space, blanketing it in this pitch black, this blacker than midnight fog that is going to, muffle all of the sound and suffocate anyone who is in there.
You hear, all of you hear the sound of chairs sort of being pushed back, and maybe half a muffled yell and some coughing before almost dead silence befalls that room. There's some shuffling and a couple crashes, little ones. And then a thud. That's all you hear.
I'm just going to hold it
anything
there.
Just one?
I mean, they take a level of superficial damage for every turn that they're in it.
But they didn't see where it came from. They can't breathe. They can't see. Those were just human security guards. They are not for taking down anything of that nature.
Storyteller.
Yes, dear.
Did the woman that Carmina sent back ever come back out?
Not that you saw.
She at the party.
I heard there was a good party downstairs. Barry, with his cloak still up, is going to attempt to push open the glass door.
It swings freely. You see exactly what Giselle described on the other side, except now the break room is filled with an almost solid darkness.
Mosey on in.
Do the rest of you follow?
Yes.
Yep.
Is there anything we can do to secure this area so that no one could get in behind us?
Like what?
I don't know. I mean, are we planning on using the elevator to get out?
Do you have another suggestion?
Well, you have people on the roof and there's got to be stairs, right? Are there stairs on our map? We did some investigation about the building.
We did. And it's
Plans.
the 14th, technically the 13th floor. So it's not too much of a haul down a fire escape. It would still
But if you
have one.
recall, a few months back, there were several renovations made to the building.
Right.
None of them were documented. And everyone who'd been here with some tenure, some experience, was fired at exactly that time. If you were to look very closely at that bank of elevators that let out on the 14th floor. You would see the faint outline of where there might have been a doorway for a stairwell once, but not anymore.
That is a fire code violation. Well, I'm glad I don't work here.
The four of you stand in an empty office next to a steel door with a keypad.
Well, here goes nothing. I'm going to put in the code 72431.
You press each button. And as you hit the third digit, your hand begins to shake ever so slightly. You've heard this sound before. Something rests heavy in your mind. And as you hit the last digit, and two mechanical clicks trigger inside the steel frame, your breath becomes ragged. You've been here. This was where it happened. And the other three of you might notice a slight hesitation in Barry as the door unlocked.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, what's the problem?
I've been here before. This is where they turned me. This is where it happened.
Welcome home.
Sorry.
Barry, it's as if it's happening again. You can feel that silk still across your eyes. You can hear the click and slide of a door with its simple lock. You can feel another presence near you, something timid and shaken and barely clinging on. And you can hear again and again and again and again, just reverberating, echoing around in your head, bouncing off your skull, growing louder and louder. All you hear is, "I'm so sorry."
This is. I can't. And he's going to activate Cloak of Shadows and dip out.
What do the rest of you do?
Where are you? Do we know if he's still around? Are you still around? Barry?
Can't tell.
Okay.
Better we know now than later. Let's go.
Yep. Guns drawn.
Couldn't handle it.
Going in.
Disappointing. All right.
As you pull open the heavy steel door, you notice 5 identical cells inside, each one with a small window. Most of them are dark. 2 of them appear to have light inside. The one that was marked with the P was directly in front of you at the end of this hallway.
I'd like to check the other ones first.
Do you open them up or merely look through the portholes?
I can use shadows to peek in.
Okay.
Nice.
From what you can tell, the 3 cells that are dark at present are unoccupied, have been unoccupied. They don't look like there's been any activity. The other cell with the light on, off to your left, it has some scuff marks on the floor. Maybe some fingernail scratches on the walls. It looks like someone was held here for a time, but you can't say who or when. And if you slip into that last cell at the end of the corridor, chained to the center of the floor, clutching his knees to his chest, and humming the Kinks, is Percival, looking hopeless and starved.
He's there.
I run over to the door.
It's a simple door with a sliding lock on it.
That's it? Just that? How can this, before I open it, I'm just like, what is it that's kept him in this? This doesn't seem like.
He's chained up.
Oh no. And I'll go to try to open the door.
Barry. When you slipped into the shadows and turned to flee, you were met on your way back to the elevators by the mousy-haired woman from the front desk. Approaching the set of frosted glass doors with a sawed-off shotgun. You had a moment of indecision, but decided to at least let them know. And you took 3 or 4 steps back towards the corridor. Just as Carmina pulls open the door, and Barry, from your vantage point, you can see a hollow husk of a human form. Its face more fish than man, carrying sadness in its eyes. It's like you. And then you get this vision, clear as day. I'm so sorry. And the caress of gills against your cheek as a fish-like mouth bit into you and turned you into the thing that you are now. The monster whose skin doesn't stay on. The horrendous abomination that can't even be around its own kind. Master of bugs. you see before you the thing that turned you into this.
There are a lot of emotions running through Barry right now. The fear that he had of the flashbacks of the keypad and the blindfold and the terror is starting to fade as he sees the creature on the ground in such a pitiful form.
I need you to make me a willpower roll.
That is 6 successes with a crit.
Okay. Go on.
And he has a moment of thought processing as he thinks back over the past 48 hours that he's spent with these 3 individuals who, regardless how Barry felt about himself, have not shied away from him in a way that he thought they should, and welcomed him and even praised his skills and his abilities, as weird as they are. And he sort of comes to a realization right there in the hallway that while he didn't get what he wanted, he might have gotten what he needed. The power that complemented who Barry was and is. And he decides at that moment that he's not going to wallow in pity, but he's going to embrace this and make Lucian pay.
Carmina, you pull the door open and you see Percival curled up in this ball. And he lifts his head and turns to look at you, but instead looks past you further down the hallway, where Barry, in your heightened emotional state, you let your shadow slip. And you stand there. And it's very clear to all of you. The expression on Percival's face right now is one of terror and recognition when he looks at Barry.
Are you all right? We're gonna get you out of here. It's okay. It's okay. He's with us.
He shouldn't be here. He can't be trusted. He's one of Lucian's. He can't be here. Sorry, I forgot he had a British accent. Sorry, my bad.
No,
that Cockney, it's just goes in and out, doesn't it? Oi!
Real tricky, isn't it?
Miss Carmina, you can't. He has to get out of here. We have to get out of here. Please get him away.
No, but we know that Lucian initially sent him to like look after us, but
no.
Listen, can we just get you out of here safely first? We could talk about this. We could all talk about this afterwards.
Yes. Yeah. Can you help me with this chain? I
look down at the chain. Not
as strong as I usually am.
Does it look like it's like a lock situation, or
it's just a thick like chain link that's attached, like bolted to the floor with what looks like pretty big industrial lug nut bolts.
Okay, I'm not very strong. Is there? Is there anybody? Do you guys? How do we get him out of here?
You didn't have a plan to get me out?
Well, we didn't know you were going to be chained up.
Let me try it.
What?
Louvier's been doing CrossFit. What would you like me to roll, storyteller, if it was trying to break this?
I would like, why don't you roll me strength and larceny?
Ooh, easy. That is 3 successes.
Okay. Louvier, you go to tug on this chain. And it takes every ounce of effort that you have. You continue to pull. Barry, what are you doing?
As the cloak of shadows drops, how close is this woman coming around the corner?
Perhaps 10 feet from you?
Okay. If you're going to do something, you should do it quick. And I would like to activate Feral Whispers for all the bugs.
Okay.
Just any bug in the building to come swirling up out of the vents, out of the ducts, out of the floor.
All right. Louvier. Go ahead, Giselle.
Oh, I was going to say, how close is the woman?
You can't see her. You guys are in the hallway, so you can't see her approaching. Barry's the only one who knows she's there right now. Louvier, you're pulling on this chain, and with a couple seconds of effort, it's very obvious that it's giving way. It's just very strong, so it's taking time. And you pull as hard as you can, just as from the loosened hole where one of the chain bolts was going into the floor, a little cockroach scurries up out of the hole. And then another. And another. Carmina and Giselle, you hear them as they come crawling out of the holes where the fluorescent lights come down into the rooms. This skittering mass of exoskeletons and legs scraping against one another as they form this living river of carapaces swarming towards where Barry stands now, staring at something outside of your field of view.
Barry, what is this?
Hurry. There's someone coming.
Luffy, can you break these?
So much.
As Luvy's trying to do this, I go, we don't have time. And I'm going to cast Arms of Ahriman.
Okay.
May I use that on the chains? I know it's not your traditional.
It's not the traditional use, but I love non-traditional uses. And I feel like this is perfect.
So I have 2 things I'd like to do with it. I'd like to use 1, possibly 2 of them to pull up the chain and then deal with the person who is coming with the other.
Still can't see them.
I can use shadow perspective still because we're still in the same scene, right?
Yes. Do you lose track of where you actually are standing when you use your shadow perspective? Because that just takes your field of vision, right? It doesn't take you.
Yes, it does. So, fair enough.
So I will allow you to do one or the other at this moment in time.
Well, let's deal with getting Percival first. And
wonderful.
So
you've all seen it happen at least once. Well, no, Barry hasn't. Just kidding.
I actually haven't used this yet.
I thought you used it once before. Then describe to me what it looks like as you go to grab this chain.
Similarly, it's that idea of the light hitting. I'm almost thinking of Silence in the Library of Doctor Who, where it's one shadow that suddenly is three shadows as they stretch out from me, the same way as if a spotlight were hitting a dancer on a stage, or possibly a snake spreading across. They almost sneak out like serpents as they wrap around the chains and tear them from the ground.
Louvier, you watch as where your hands had just been, these shadows sort of snake and slither their way around the chain and pull it with relative ease.
Plus half my potents round up. So many dice.
We love a big dice pool.
That's 10 dice I'm getting to roll right now. Here are the dice.
Meanwhile, Barry, the woman stops about 6 feet before you, raises the sawed-off shotgun and says, "I did tell you all that we were closed." And she fires at you. Roll me your dex and athletics.
So rude. I tried to save her life.
You did.
Should have killed her.
Can't find good help these days.
Oh.
The problem was that you didn't get her eye contact. Mesmerize only works if the person is.
Oh, I thought like she was. Oh, you
nope,
did
that's
say
why
that.
I made it a point to
Diana.
say she didn't lift her head.
Oh, you did me dirty.
Love you.
You said Dex and what?
Dex and athletics.
Oh, I can't believe.
That's 2 successes.
The four of you turn with a start at this loud popping noise to see Barry's stomach now gaping.
Would I get more dice because of all the bugs coming in?
It won't make a difference for this roll. Just
Okay.
wait.
Exoskeletons are tough, though.
The wound itself is sizzling just a little bit. And you get the sense that whatever is in that shotgun is meant for you all.
I should have had that silver-tipped harpoon handle.
Barry, you are going to take 1 aggravated damage from 6 feet away. I will now give you the opportunity to command your bugs.
So I have to roll to see how well I can command said bugs.
Meanwhile, Giselle, what'd you get on that arms of
7
roll? Wonderful. Tell me what it looks like as you haul this chain out of the floor.
I think it's like a dancer doing a grand battement. It's very controlled and very strong. So that it's not that flail of when something gives way. It's that it's controlled all the way as they rip out of the cement of the floor.
Okay.
There's almost no kickback to it. It's just sort of like snapping a thread.
Wonderful. Barry.
As I free Percival.
I rolled 5, and it says, depending on the margin of the test, a critical win summons most, if not all, of the animals of that type in the area. How does a 5 do, storyteller?
I mean, you have a lot of bugs around you right now.
Okay.
But are you going to tell them to do anything, or are they just like hanging out? Are they invited to the party?
No, I am going to just very much like someone in chat said, like the Mummy, the scene from the Mummy where he takes and he just like yells and throws the bugs almost all in one motion and just crawl in, like just hit her in the face, crawl into the shotgun, crawl into any hole that they can find, nose, mouth, ears, eyes.
Okay.
Gross.
Yeah. Louvier, Giselle, and Carmina. Percival's now freed in front of you. There was a slight like scraping noise as the edge of the end of the chain finally came loose. And Percival kind of reaches forward and picks it up and turns to look up at you, Carmina. And he just says, he'll kill you for this.
I don't care what he tries. I'm getting you out of here.
Not if we kill him first.
Also that.
I don't know.
Let's
That's
go.
great plan. And you turn just in time to see Barry scream, sending a swarm that blots out the fluorescent lights to this woman that you all still can't see. You will hear another bang from the shotgun as she fires blindly into this sea of bugs. And then it's quiet. Barry, you see the woman flat on her back, writhing around, trying to do something about the bugs that are all over her. And you get the sense that she would be screaming were it not for the fact that her mouth, her nose, you could see the bugs bulging through her esophagus and her throat, being drowned out by insects, quite literally. And Giselle, Carmina, and Luvi, you step over the threshold of the steel keypad door and stand there beside Barry, just in time to catch a glimpse of Lucian with 2 guards stepping through the frosted glass doors. He doesn't look surprised. Nothing to say for yourselves. Nothing at all.
I was thinking maybe you had more of an explanation for this. What is this? Like a prison you've got here?
Call it a retraining center.
Oh, those words have never had any sort of weight in the past.
The 4 of you were given very explicit instructions. Barry, you're supposed to watch over these idiots to make sure that they don't upset the balance in Miami any more than they already have. You 3 were supposed to continue running your stupid club into the ground and stay out of the big boys' business.
In case you didn't notice.
Restore the... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Not boys. Most of us.
Yeah. Also, is it restoring the balance of Miami or just staying out of your way? Because I can tell you right now, nobody's staying out of mine.
I have dealt with your insolence for far too long.
You're not my dad. Sorry, I just really wanted to have the urge.
I might as well be. I made you what you are. I gave you what you have.
Fathers do not get to take credit for their children's successes.
Don't they?
No.
Anyway, if the 5 of you would like to escort yourselves back into the containment cells, you see I've got one for each of you all set up.
I'm sorry. No, that's not happening.
He takes a few steps closer to you. I suppose we're going to do this the more difficult way then. And the two men who had flanked him when they came in raise guns in your direction.
What are you doing with them? Till the end of the scene.
Right. What are you doing with them?
Grapple them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then constrict. Like snakes striking.
Is that shotgun that the woman used visibly on the ground?
Yeah, we'll say yes.
I want to activate rapid reflexes, and I have my guns drawn, and I want to shoot at anyone I could be shooting at. But I will
be specific.
I will go for the guards first.
Okay.
Rapid reflexes, but I want the shotgun to shoot Lucian.
Okay. Barry, what about you? Barry, it's worth noting, Percival has not stopped staring at you this whole time. And in this moment, with Lucian approaching, he actually cowers behind you.
Sorry about it. Can I activate Cloak of Shadows in this instance?
I don't think you're going to get away with it in this crowd. Since you are the subject of Lucian's current ire.
Then I will instead I'll command my bugs to just go straight up into like a confusing barrier between them and us.
Who's us?
The four of us. The five of us.
Wonderful. So as Lucian steps forward and his two guards raise their arms, Giselle, you reach out with your arms of Ahriman as Louvier goes for the shotgun. Carmina, as you draw your weapons and take your aim, a swarm of bugs rises from the ground, obfuscating anything you thought you'd be able to see right now.
Damn it.
And you lose sight of all three of them in the chaos.
Sorry.
What do you do?
Question. Would using heightened senses or sense the unseen help me pinpoint through the cacophony of bugs flying around where everybody is situated?
I think that heightened senses might work, but only on Lucian. Because he wore a very particular cologne. And it's one of those things where your olfactory sense is the one most closely tied to memory.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you remember that sort of like pungent, musty smell.
Like, why Drakkar Noir? Like, who wears that anymore? Why is that a thing?
You smell like an old man. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. So if you were to use heightened senses, you would be able to discern where Lucian is, but you wouldn't be able to tell where the guards were. They don't stink.
Okay. That's such a tough. All right, I'm going to try to take a shot at him.
Okay. Roll me your wits and awareness.
Okay.
Louvier. Go ahead and roll me real quick. I want to see how quickly you were able to grab the gun. Roll me Dex and Survival. And add your celerity to it.
Aha.
6. Okay.
6 successes.
4 successes and 1 is a critical.
Okay. Despite the wall of bugs, you are able to locate the shotgun handle. But it's like that scene from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom where you have to reach through the bugs to get to it. Every impulse in your body is against this. I just want you to know.
Oh, I hate this. This is like...
It's
like apologizing to every one of your exes.
Well, you might be doing that later too. Giselle, your arm shot out just as the bugs came up. I would like you to roll me 6 dice and tell me how many successes you get. Carmina, you got 6 successes to locate. Okay.
Yeah. And that it was a critical in there.
Okay. Four successes. Giselle, even though you can't see it, you're used to kind of operating from the blind perspective anyway. Let's be honest, you live in the shadows. You know for a fact you got a grip on at least one of the guards. The other one, you think you might have accidentally gotten a grip on like his weapon or his boot or something, but it's not firm. It's not a real strong grasp. Carmina, with 6 successes, you pinpoint exactly where Lucian stands before you. You can faintly make out Louvier's shape to your right as he fumbles over the corpse of this woman. Barry, is there anything you'd like to do in this moment?
So I'm commanding the bugs to do a wall. And then I'm going to use my potence, soaring leap, to leap in a direction that they are not expecting, to the right or left, wherever works best. I can jump up to 15 meters.
You're just trying to go somewhere where they won't know that you're there?
Well, basically, yeah, they saw me, and then the bugs came up, and I want to not be there when they come through.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to sort of like...
5 meters, not 15.
You're able to sort of like take a hop to the left. So now you're sort of midway down that boardroom, that mahogany boardroom table that was there. And you're out of the way from where you were a minute ago.
Can I also duck down behind the table?
Sure.
Like with that movement?
Man, this is so Barry. This is peak Barry. It's how we met, Barry. Fond memories. Carmina.
Yes.
You know exactly where Lucian is. What do you do?
Well, a harpoon gun's range is 300 meters, so I want to harpoon him right in the chest.
Okay. We're going to come right back to that. Louvier, I need you to roll me your dex and athletics twice.
Oh, done.
Giselle, I'm going to need you to roll me your strength and brawl and go ahead and add on your oblivion. What'd you get, Louvier?
2 successes, 3 successes. On the 3 successes, there was 1 critical.
Okay.
May I throw... Oh, I think it might just be a passive. Hang on, let me just check. May I throw prowess on there as well? Or is that not relevant to this?
It's not going to be relevant to this, no.
Okay.
Louvi, while you're kind of stomaching your grip on this weapon, you hear two bangs. And one of them you hear on the wall to your right, perhaps 3 feet from where you crouch right now. And the other one is directly before you, into the body of the woman you're bent over right now. Several pieces of shrapnel sort of come up and scrape your knee. And again, it's an unnatural material. It starts to sort of sizzle on your flesh, burning you for 1 point of aggravated damage. Giselle?
5.
Okay. Tell me how you crush one of these guards.
I mean, what I'd like to ultimately do with them is I wanted to drag them back into the shadow I set up before in the break room, so that they're being suffocated at the same time as I'm constricting on them. And it does constrict almost like a snake, but then it acts like a viper and bites as it crushes them.
Okay. So your end goal is to suffocate them in your Stygian shroud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But also the arms do their own constriction as well, so that they actually do more damage than shroud itself. But it gets them out of our way and not seeing what we're up to.
Yes. This particular guard, you sort of have him right around the hips, so you're able to toss him very easily towards the break room. However, as you begin to move him, he takes the gun and points it down at where your shadows are connecting the two of you and fires into that shadow.
He has the leverage to do that with his arms?
Yep.
Okay.
You got him around the waist. You don't have, his arms are free right now. And he shoots the shadow and it dissipates and relinquishes him. These are no ordinary guards. Carmina, tell me how this happens, how you go to shoot Lucian.
Well, there's still this whole like cloud of bugs, but I'm just barely able to see. So as I'm going by his gross choices of cologne, I'm going to bring the strap of my harpoon gun as a cross. So I'm just going to swing it around and then just aim for the chest with the intention of getting a good grip on that rope once I finished firing.
As you take your aim, something deep inside you clicks into place. And a silent command that you don't remember hearing, but that you must have heard, rises in your mind. And you hear clear as day Lucian's voice saying, "Should you ever lift a finger to harm me, you will feel a death upon a death, and it will hurt you 10 times over." What does this feel like for Carmina as she stares down the sight of this harpoon gun?
It feels as though, even though it's one voice, it feels like I hear hundreds of him surrounding me, and it's just echoing in this like dizzying echo chamber. And it's painful. I feel like somebody has their claws into like the inside in my brain and just digging their nails in.
Does it manifest physically at all?
No, but it's almost worse because I feel like I almost feel like I'm losing control against something, and that's definitely a feeling that I'm not used to. So this is almost worse for me than if I saw physical violence inflicted on me.
Roll me strength and resolve.
Okay. Three successes.
You're able to move your finger to the trigger and you begin to apply pressure. Your sight wavers just a little from the echoes bouncing around in your head. But you do pull, and all of you hear that tss as the harpoon finds its target and lands in Lucian's chest. Carmina, what does this do to you?
Those nails that were now in my brain, it feels like somebody is tearing my intestines right out of me. And I scream.
You all haven't heard this kind of noise come from Carmina ever. You've heard her yell. You've heard her rage. But this is something else. Louvier, you have a firm grip on the shotgun. Giselle, you now know without a doubt the grip you have on the other guard, the one who hasn't freed himself, is absolutely on the gun that he brought in.
I want to pull that to myself.
Okay. Sorry, behind the scenes. Barry, you can hear this guttural noise as the trigger clicks and Carmina looses her harpoon. Carmina, you have the rope in your hand still.
I want to pull on it.
And there's a look on Lucian's face. You catch a glimpse of it through the bugs. Horror, absolutely. Something like pride there, too. And then a grin. A grin that lets you know he knows exactly what you're feeling right now. He knows exactly every agonizing second of what you're feeling, that's going to linger with you long after the events of tonight are over. And his body tenses before you. He doesn't yield.
I pull harder. I'm trying to just yank it out of his body or pull him towards me, whatever happens.
Roll me strength and resolve.
Damn. Sorry, I rolled 3 with the criticals, but only like 1 counts as a critical set, but it's just weird to see. For 6 successes.
You plant your feet and pull, gritting your teeth through the agony that you feel. And you see his body lose some of its resistance before you. And at the same time, the pain inside of you multiplies tenfold.
like as I'm pulling, with each pull, you see more and more, like now I am vomiting blood, like, and it is dripping down my entire body. And I'm in complete agony as I'm doing this, but it's just like my eyes are bloodshot and just full on blood vomit.
Louvier, what do you do?
I mean, if she's pulling him close and this shotgun seems to, I guess, are there shells I see that I could load into this shotgun is the important question, I suppose.
I mean, the woman in, well, what's left of her, the woman before you, it looks like there are a couple that she probably stuck in her pocket.
Yeah, I'd want to load and then fire as Lucien is being pulled towards us.
Okay. Roll me your dex and firearms. Giselle, what would you do?
I want to take that gun and I'm going to hold it I'm going to point it at Lucien, and I'm going to turn to Carmina and I say, you have the right to finish this. But if you don't want to, I will.
Barry. 3 successes. Cool.
Welcome to hell, Barry.
Ooh.
As this harpoon is in his chest and he's getting shot by a shotgun at essentially point blank range, I was under the table fiddling with that box of matches and explosive thing. But as I see the rest of this go down and I hear the connection of the harpoon with the chest and the screaming, I'm going to look up and see the lifeless, bloodless face of Lucien and just tell all my bugs to feed. Fill your little carapaces with vampire flesh. That's the directive.
Louvier.
Yeah.
You fire directly into Lucian's knee. And you hear the satisfying crunch when the pellets make contact, and the little bit of sizzle that takes place afterwards. Mm-hmm. And it looks as though the bugs have almost shifted, changed direction now, and all have turned their attention towards Lucien. Lucien, tensing up, as Carmina draws him closer. Carmina. Lucien, covered in bugs, one leg shattered now, is within arm's reach of you. It hurts, but in the best way. What do you do?
I pull him in really close, like I take where almost the harpoon is almost touching my skin. And I lean in and whisper into his ear, "This is for what you did to my father." And I'm going to sink my teeth into his neck. And I'm not going to stop until he drops dead to the ground.
Roll me dexterity and composure.
Here in Miami, you don't get just one. You get two.
Night is young.
Don't say that.
Success.
Don't say that.
Okay. You sink your fangs into him, begin to drink. And his breath is ragged. He feels weak to you. But there's a slight vibration in his throat as the bugs feed and his wounds fester and his blood is drained. And he leans into you just a little bit, Carmina. And he says, "You'll never have my throne." And puts all of his weight and strength into his back leg as he charges with you in front of him towards the glass windows that face out towards the street.
I have my gun trained on him.
Go ahead and roll me your dex and firearms.
Maybe not the best choice. May I use the arms instead? To hold him steady for myself?
I don't think you have time.
Okay.
You were literally holding a shot because you thought Carmina was about to end this.
Because he was right there next to me.
Right.
Like
I don't think you were expecting it. So I don't think you had your arms at the ready.
I'm going to make a case for this that I would not have let my guard down just because of the particulars of this situation and what it parallels in my own life.
Okay.
I would not have dropped my guard.
Then go ahead and roll me your strength and brawl.
Okay.
The difficulty will be high, though.
Otherwise. Am I plugging anything else onto it or just straight strength and brawl?
This time it's straight strength and brawl.
If it's going to be higher than a 4, it's not possible for me to do.
You could crit.
True. I did not. I got 4 successes.
Okay. With 4 successes, as the glass begins to give behind the two of them, you're able to, with your arms, not necessarily grab them to steady them, but you are able to get a grip on the rope that had been attached to the harpoon, trailing behind Carmina. Carmina. I want to know how you feel in this moment, how present you are for what's happening right now.
I feel like all of my anger and frustration for everything that he's done, both to me and to my father, have just culminated in this one sharp moment. And I cannot, in as much pain as I am still super laser focused on ending him.
So you don't let go?
Nope.
And it's that resolve that the rest of you see as the glass behind Carmina begins to crack and fall away. Louvier, what do you do in this moment?
Did Carmina look content, would you say?
Well, she went from screaming and vomiting up blood to smiling while eating her sire. So that's a matter of interpretation.
That's fair. That's fair. At that point, Louvier is just going to try to take out the guards so that there are no visual witnesses to what has occurred here permanently.
All right. Go ahead and roll me Dex and Firearms for which guard are you shooting at right now? The one that is still armed, I take it?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's 2 successes.
All right. Are you trying to mortally wound him?
Yes.
We end in this guy?
100%. He made the mistake of agreeing to work for a scumbag.
Okay.
Sorry, Charlie.
He is looking on in horror at what's happening right now. So you get the drop on him completely. Tell me how he dies.
Ooh, it's messed up. As he's looking around, it's bringing the gun up to like the back here, and then just like a kiss on the cheek at the same time as pulling the trigger. Just go to sleep now, darling. Go to sleep.
And it's calming. It's quiet. In this moment of chaos, this death is quiet and simple. Barry.
Can you paint the whole scene for us real quick? Because currently we've got Carmina and Lucien going out the window, and Giselle has the rope.
You see one of her shadowy arms is holding on to the rope at the end of the harpoon. Louvier has just swiftly dispatched one of the guards. And Percival, still like crunched over, like sort of hunched on the spot, is looking peaked at Carmina and Lucian right now.
And what is happening at the window with Lucien and Carmina?
They're about to go out the window.
The window's broken.
It's breaking behind her as we speak right this second.
And Carmina's back to the window and Lucien is pushing against her, or vice versa?
Yes. Lucian is pushing her out the window.
Okay.
With his body.
Okay. You mentioned that there was an exotic petting zoo downstairs.
I just want to know where it's going.
I did. Yep.
With an owl. Who are marvelous flyers. And what I would like to do is use feral whispers to call that owl and snip the rope so that tell me if this is still like working out. Giselle has the rope. Carmina has the harpoon gun, which was on a crossbody sling.
Yes. So it's still attached to be.
If the owl cuts the rope, this is real stupid, I'm sorry, between the harpoon and where Giselle is grabbing the rope, then he should plummet and Carmina should not.
All right. I'm gonna let you.
I love the owl theory.
We're gonna try and use these bird physics. We're gonna try. So, oh man, I don't even know what kind of roll that would be. Let's say
Feral Whispers is manipulation and animalism to get them to do something.
That's fine, but we got to make sure this owl understands what you're asking them to do. I don't know how many owls know the term rope. So we're gonna say your Feral Whispers goes off without a hitch. Go ahead and roll me intelligence and animal ken. We're gonna determine how smart your owl is.
Three successes. So just to be clear, this is a roll to see intelligence of an owl to save Carmina's life. Unlife.
Guys, vampires a trip, y'all. Carmina, just as you feel the glass behind you give way completely, and you've resolved to sort of tumble, taking Lucian with you, the soft beating of wings behind you brushes your hair. And you turn and see an owl as it whips past you, talons stretched out.
And normally I would be like this, but I'm surprised, but I don't know if I could move.
And just as you sort of start to lose your grip on Lucian's body, realizing that you've drained whatever was left of him, something grabs you by the wrist. And you look up to see Percival hanging out of the window, holding on to you, the rope in your other hand. I can hold you, but you've got to climb up on your own, mate.
I guess we're even now. I'll start to climb.
Louvier.
Mm-hmm.
You turn to take care of the other guard and realize that they fled after being disarmed. And the five of you, Carmina, after sort of pulling herself up, again, drenched in blood. Some of it's hers, some of it's Lucian's. The five of you stand frozen on the spot, looking at a gaping hole in the side of a city skyscraper, at a murdered receptionist.
Had it coming.
And the bones of someone that just toppled to the street below, in front of a huge crowd of people standing outside, waiting to be let in to the most exclusive party of the year. And I think that uneasy note is where we'll step away from this coterie once more. All right, y'all. We went way over on time. I am so sorry to everybody. I'm so sorry, Katie. Please don't hate me. I want to thank my incredible cast for making that what it was, and for providing me with plenty of ammunition for season 3. All kinds of comeuppets that are gonna take place. Real quick before we disband and go sit with what we've done, Jen, where can people find you?
Yeah, I am Jen Kretschmer. You can find me on Twitter as @DreamWisp. You can find me streaming on Twitch as DreamWispJen. On Tuesdays, I am on Demiplane's channel on Children of Erte. Wednesdays, I was here. And Fridays, you can find me on Neverending's channel on Radiant Stories. Also, this weekend, I will be part of an event. I'll be posting all of the information on Twitter, but I'm doing a charity event for Everybody Games. And also, right now, I am one of the authors on Anansi's Tapestry of Lives, which is live on Kickstarter right now. We went live yesterday. I'm also voicing 2 characters. We're really, really excited about this project. We have more than 85 different authors and professional voice actors involved in the project. It's more than 100 NPCs that you can throw into your games. It's system agnostic, and all of the NPCs have monologues. So please check it out. It's Anansi's Tapestry of Lives on Kickstarter right now, and we're really proud of it.
Cool. Eustace.
Yeah. That was intense. I'm Justice. You can find me on the socials as Stash Mandu. And this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Gehenna Gaming YouTube will be episode 3 of our Vampire Chronicle Bleeding Kansas. And other than that, I'll be at GameholeCon in a couple weeks. So if anybody's going to be there, say hi.
Gabe.
Hi, Gabe Hicks, Gabe James Games across the internet. There's a bunch of random things that I'm working on. But if you check out my Twitter, Gabe James Games, that's most of it. I have an upcoming Kickstarter. And just being a weird vampire man on the internet. That's my thing.
It's your brand.
It is now.
I dig it. I'm into it.
Love you.
Nora, queen of the evening.
Oh, man.
Diablerizer of man. Where can people find you?
Oh, man. First of all, I got to say that harpoon was like such a it was a spur of the moment decision. And man, did it make all the drama. I will also be part of that Kickstarter that Jen mentioned earlier. I'll be lending my voice to a couple of those characters. So please go and support that. It's a great project. Let's see, Wednesdays. Well, you'll find us here at some point on Wednesdays coming back. Thursdays. So on D&D's official channel for Black Dice Society, we are down to our last 4 episodes ever. We're wrapping it up. So you can check that out on tomorrow at 4 p.m. On Friday, 2 things. We have I have my Glass Cannon, Call of Cthulhu, Time for Chaos. We are down to the last 3 episodes of season 1. We are coming back though. And that's at 5 p.m. on the Glass Cannon Network. And then season 2 of New York by Night is premiering on Friday on World of Darkness at 7 p.m. Pacific. So please join us. I loved the season 1 cast. They were amazing. So I'm very, very excited to show y'all an all Camarilla coterie.
I'm sure that will be completely normal and not at all stuffy and terrifying. I'm Diana. I've been your storyteller this evening. Like I said, super big thank you to my wonderful cast here for making this an event, a whole thing. And thanks to you guys for showing up and watching, especially when we go like an hour over time. I do have a couple of things to talk about this week, and I took a note from Nora and I pulled up the thing so that I could just read it. So for the month of October here on the Play Renegade Games channel, we're going to be doing a 2-shot of Hunter as well as a 2-shot of Vampire. These stories are both set within the Miami story that we've put together, except we're going back in time to 1999 and seeing how this got set up in such a strange, unbalanced power structure. We'll learn a little bit about how the Deuxième d'Essai came to be, and how Angelica, Harvey, and Lucian eventually took power over the city of Miami. So those are both amazing. We're going to start off with awesome. Hunter. Our Hunter game is called New Blood, featuring Jesse Jurdick, Paula Hawthorne, Nordine Alkadir, and Chris Gideon. I'm super stoked about that one. It's a great cast. And then later on in the month, we'll be doing our 2-part vampire story that takes place the next day with cast Josephine McAdams, Harley Kane, Sailor Scout Austin, and D'Angelo Murillo. So those are going to be awesome. We're going to get to see a little bit more of the Miami nightlife. But back in 1999, when we were all worried about Y2K and global warming. Amazing. So join us for that. That kicks off next Wednesday, and I can't wait to see you there. Otherwise, have a wonderful night. Stay thirsty. We'll see you soon in Miami. Bye-bye.